Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome back to Ignite Your Glow. My name is Jessica Harris, and don't forget to go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to go ahead and share and like the video, y'all. And feel free to go ahead and comment below. So, today's conversation is going to be all about big dreams can scare you. This is a blog post that is coming from my website. My website link is going to be in the description box for you to go ahead and grab more from there. And it says, big dreams can scare you. I don't know about y'all, but I've been there too many times to count. Anyways, hey, can I be honest with you for a moment? I know we all talk about things that we want to become, things that we want to do, but no one really talks about the fear that tries to creep in, especially when your best idea comes knocking at your front door. And I don't mean the fear on how to fund your dream, nah. I mean the fear of believing that you could actually accomplish it. The fear of seeing yourself in a brighter light than where you are right now. That type of fear that stops you dead in your tracks before you even attempt to write it down on paper. So, for those of you who can relate, let me know in the comments that I'm not alone. Let me know that I'm not alone, y'all. Come on, please and thank you. Anyways, fear will cause you to stop truly before you get started. This time, yes, and I do mean like this time, last year, I had half written a few pieces that I could have easily turned into several books, but I didn't have the energy to finish. I wasn't sure if anyone would actually read what I had wrote, so I chose not to write or publish any of them at all. Instead, life had been taking a toll on me for the year, and fighting against fear, honestly, at that point, just felt like it was out of the question. It wasn't until I finally decided to go ahead and get me a coach to help me out. During our coaching session, we talked about some of the goals that I had, some of the plans that I wanted to put in place, and the reasons as to why there were some things that I simply had just put on pause. So, the idea of creating a blog was made. And I said, not new for an idea, but new to a concept that I was actually going to go ahead and start diving into. I had never fully gone down this particular route, but it was something that had been sitting with me for a while, so it sounded like the perfect idea that I was able to move down the line with. So, in less than a month, Living Simply Jess was set to launch with its official blog. And I would finally be able to call myself a blogger. Y'all, that's exciting. The hard work wasn't creating the blog itself, although finding the right platform for me took some time. The real work was believing that I could do it, believing that my voice was assigned to the ears of other people, believing the fact that other people needed to hear what I had to say. I had to push out of my own way and honestly just do it. Once my research was done on the platforms, the audience, and the content, I was pretty much good to go on a physical level. But somehow, some way, fear and doubt were still trying to get the best of me. I'll never forget the day before my launch. It was July 5th, 2021, and I sat there contemplating whether I should really do this or not. I had written a few articles, but none of them seemed to convey what I wanted in the way that I wanted it to. I kept starting over, unsure if what I wrote would honestly even be read by anybody else. I truly wasn't sure if people would honestly even care for the pieces that I was getting ready to write. Fear has taken up so much space that it didn't matter that I had been promoting this launch. It didn't matter that I had spent endless amount of hours getting everything in order on my website. The fear I was feeling was crushing my spirit, and I felt like I was alone in this. Your why must be strong enough to push fear aside. So then I remembered. I remembered my why this blog was needed, why this story had to be told, that it was a duty that I had to encourage other parents that there was a weight to this assignment. I knew that if I didn't fulfill it, many would not get the words that needed to be heard. So I stayed up and I wrote one more blog post. And I used that one as the initial start to my whole blog. I knew that if God allowed me through it, then there was a bigger purpose. I knew that if God allowed me through it, then there was a bigger purpose behind everything that we had endured. The blog was just going to be another stop on the journey. I had already released the date of this launch. I promoted the content for it, and you would have thought I was truly ready. But the night before, I honestly almost didn't do it. I almost quit. I almost let fear beat me, but I didn't. I silenced that fear that had been raging in my head over the last month because I knew that the story that I was sharing was far too valuable and too important not to be shared. I also knew that if I didn't share, I would always wonder, what if? And I couldn't live with that. When I pushed fear out of the way, I was able to reach people in 23 countries in less than a year. I created my podcast show, Living Simply with Jessica Harris, and this podcast actually went international within its first 3 months. Shout out to Australia. I also was able to create my very first journal called Live a Life of Gratitude. And keep in mind, all of these things were done within the first 6 months of me launching my blog. My blog wasn't there for a year. It wasn't there for 5 years. It was only there for 6 months when all of these other pieces were able to be birthed out of it. You see, when fear got out of the way, everything else in front of me was possible. And I truly have to say that nothing but God allowed me to make moves like this, in this way. So, what about you? What is it that you're doing right now or want to do that fear is telling you no, you're not able to do it? That fear is convincing you to believe that you don't have the tools for it. What exactly is fear preventing you from doing? If you want to move past fear, you're going to have to shift your mindset about how you see yourself. You're going to have to shift your mindset about the goal or the dream that you have in front of you. And you're going to have to shift your mindset about the circumstances around you as well. Jump on a strategy call with me. It's complimentary for a quick 15-minute chat. Don't waste time letting fear get in the way, but instead grow clear as to why the fear is there to begin with. All the information you need to talk with me is going to be in the description box below. I hope you all take the time to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Have an amazing day, everybody.